and I can't do anything about that until the situation settles down.
So it's in our mutual interest to settle it.
Oh. I suppose that things are bad enough that I ought not shy away from help. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell the police to allow you to come inside. Just tell me when you're ready.
Well, I am ready. We should probably ask him this too.
Mr. Harlow, how did the refugees end up here exactly?
Oh, so you're not from around here yourself?
I've been away for some time, but I read the papers.
Yes, this whole story has been in the papers for almost a year now. They were smuggled to Cordona on a ship from Africa.
Smuggled? Then why didn't you deport them?
The smugglers managed to sneak them to shore and hide them inside an abandoned warehouse. When the police raided the warehouse and found the refugees there, the ship was already gone. We aren't even certain as to which ship it was. We have busy shipping routes with other colonies these days, you see.
So you decided to lock them up under a bridge?
There was no other option. We're still trying to work out what to do with them. I only hope we'll find a humane solution and not put them on a raft and float them out to sea.
Mr. Harlow, what exactly do you do here? What are your responsibilities?
What I do and what I am responsible for are two different realities, Mr. Holmes. On paper, I am in charge of the camp territory, security, provision, and the refugees in general. What I actually do most of the time is knock on every city hall door trying to obtain some funding, or at least rations for the camp.
Are the police here on City Hall's behalf too?
They are, minus those who came here after the body was found. The governor won't let the refugees disperse into the island, so there's a significant police presence guarding the camp. Naturally, they answer directly to the police. I have some influence here, but I'm not their direct authority.
I'm ready to take a look at the scene.
All right. Go inside the camp and find Inspector Tewkesbury. He's the officer investigating the scene. Tell him I sent you. Say you're an independent expert from City Hall. He'll fill in the details for you.
I'll find my way with words. Thank you, Mr. Harlow.
All right.
So they keep these refugees under a bridge like proverbial trolls. No wonder the people outside are so disturbed.
Who the hell are you? How did you get in here?
Mr. Ronald Harlow let me in, sir. I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewkesbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short, I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food for archive mold. Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have enough problems before you appeared.
Could you first tell me what happened here?
What happened? People from the bridge above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest.
Oh.
Bam. A murder. Big news for Cordona.
I'm sure. Thank you, Inspector.
I wonder.
Did you learn anything about the dead man?
The fellow looks like a thug. I've had dozens like him fished out of the sea over the past 20 years. Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity?
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body.
Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the whole thing. And now there's a crowd gathered at the camp, and my superiors say we must thoroughly interrogate the refugees. At least those who can understand any English.
Do you believe that your superiors wish to get rid of the refugees?
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every refugee.
And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there near their kitchen. He's in a bad way.
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed?
No, she's all right, but perhaps the whole debacle started because of her. She started wailing and the refugees stood up for the girl.
And where is this young woman now?
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's been questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
Alright.
Here we go again. Number of hours on Cordona before stumbling upon another dead body? 0.
That is true. 9. Let's begin with 1. Eight. 5, 6, 7. 3, 4. 1.
May I ask for your assistance? Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Coal
Coal
dust.
dust under the nails. I don't see much coal around here.
It might be the murderer.
A steel dirk, sharp. A common accessory among sailors and soldiers. Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the
Yeah,
other.
it is.
This man was limping, John.
We found him.
An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something? I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however the wound is too messy to be certain. A violent death. This man, limping. Coal dust. I think we're onto something here, John.
Well, that is number 1. Where's number 2?
If they find out about the passage, everything will go to hell.
Find out a passage for. Police officer worried that the situation with the dead body will put the camp into strict lockdown, and they will lose the money flow they were earning from their scheme.
Nobody will know anything if you keep your bloody mouth shut.
The coppers. Sherry, just look at this. Living quarters in a sewer. What kind of a genius bureaucrat came up with this idea? We have seen some dark places in Cordona, but this...
Yeah, this is pretty shitty. Here.
£1,000. A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't very common in Cordona. A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk. Malpal, soaked with salt water.
Interesting. Well, it's definitely him.
Someone bled profusely here. A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently. A blood trail leading to a furrow in the ground. Clearly a left handprint here.
But that was 9, so 4, 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8.
Oh, carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment. The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike. No hint of blood or impact. It might have been used as an improvised weapon. Someone was dragged against their will.
Police boots.
Police boots. Always happy to trample evidence. A heavy boot with a worn-out sole. A man's footprint.
Right, we have looked everywhere now.
The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately. He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
You know what? I'd like to understand.
What?
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place?
Good question. Right, well, let's help him. There must be something.
Just washed. Better than nothing to bandage the wound.
Do we need something to clean it with? Or, I mean, is he bleeding or what?
That will kill, not save him.
That's not good. Reeds.
It won't do any good.
Yeah, that will not do any good as well. Must be something here. Maybe that.
I can use this to stop the infection from spreading. I'll use it to create a solution. I've plated all the ingredients, now to prepare the first aid solution.
So it's 6 thread. What the hell is that? Will that half it? I will lower it. Okay, it will. Well, there we go, that's 6. See if we can do this simple. -10, can we double this too? So we got 6 threads, we got -10, and then -4, so we're gonna go with 4. Well, I'm going to lower it 3, and then I'm gonna flip it to like that. Then we're gonna go with this over there, followed with this over here. Perfect.
Thank you.
This should make you feel better, my friend. Now remain lying down and drink as much water as you can.
Well done, Sherry. At least he won't die from the infection.
Okay, he should survive. Asking around the camp. Spin that.
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until all the circumstances are clarified. Back off.
Do you know anything about this?
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
Are you able to help me?
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
Help me, please.
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Asking around the camp, even outside?
You still here? Your problem, not mine. Go and bother someone else with this, son. Go and bother someone else with this, son. Go and bother someone else with this, son.
The guards at the sewers were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
And this doesn't bother you as an officer of the law?
I can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something about it, but I seriously doubt that. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady business, that's on their heads. I'm busy. Don't you have papers to fill? City Hall clubberheads.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
I hope I'm not making a grave mistake in trusting you, Mr. Holmes.
We might need to ask one of the refugees.
Can I ask you a question? I can't help you, then.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherlock. You should know what you're doing.
Well, not really.
Murder! Beasts!
Could you help me?
I'm on a break. I don't want to think.
Nah, none of this will help us here. Or so I don't think. We need to ask the refugees, possibly. Or could I ask the wounded one? No. Now, how did I get inside? A tunnel?
Sealed shut. I doubt our man could get through these grates.
But he had seawater in his... He came from the water. Did he swim?
It's unlikely anyone could get in or out of the camp by water without alerting the police guards. No, it's too short for these walls or cliffs.
Back off.
too far. It's not here. And I mean, that would be locked, right? So where did he get in? He must have gotten in somewhere else.
Back off.
No one deserves to end up in a place like this.
I might need to wait for that then. But we don't really have much else to do.
May I ask for your assistance?
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
Do you know anything about this?
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
You obviously haven't thought this all through.
Can I ask you a question?
Annoying these people
Oh, I don't know
on
about that.
purpose.
Ask one of the others.
Do you know anything about this?
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Time to check your who, what, and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what and dressed as what?
Yeah, well, we are dressed correctly, but I don't think they will talk anyway, unless maybe the guy out here.
I hope I'm not making a grave mistake in trusting you, Mr. Holmes.
Who isn't allowed to visit the crime scene these days?
Could you help me?
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
No. So how do we get to the refugees? The thug also visits Vogel's gallery.
Well done, Sherry. At least he won't die from the infection.
Back off.
Is this familiar to you?
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Well, these people are useless. So how did they break in? Did they sneak in as a refugee or what? We have everything here.
I'm busy. Don't you have papers to fill? City Hall, Lubberhead.
Well, we are... I'm not sure. This is not good. He must have come in one way. Did he come in from the main entrance over here? So let's look around to see if we have anything that sticks out. What's that?
A single Malpal butt. Roadman's cigarettes. A brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan. The good old police just let the man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
We do. Okay, well, let's see. Where do we begin? Yeah, that's what I saw earlier. Okay, so he was just let in. And the person got over here. That seems more fitting. I think he was stabbed here. He was chased. He was not trying to protect her, I don't think so. He was trying to pick her up. Well, drag her out by the looks of it. She refused. That later happened, yeah. And I think she dropped it here. Yeah, I think so. being chased, tripped. I don't think he dropped it. There. And that's also where he gets stabbed. Yes. And then he gets washed. Yeah, well, no, he's not getting washed up. They're just pulling him up there. I think that's the full picture.
You're not even trying, Sherry.
Oh, yeah, not.
Concentrate.
He dropped it and he grabbed it. But yeah, there was something with the crates there. He killed himself. He killed himself. He ran, tripped on the crates. The blade goes into his chest. That guy is in shock because he's dead. And then he falls down there.
So, we have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade. However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
You still here?
Okay, let's ask.
Your problem, not mine. I've already told you all I've learned. Don't bother someone else with this, son. Your problem, not mine. Don't bother someone else with this, son. I've already told you all I've learned. Don't bother someone else with this, son. Don't bother someone else with this, son. I've already told you all I've learned. Don't bother someone else with this, son. Your problem, not mine. I've already told you all I've learned. Don't bother someone else with this, son. Don't bother someone else with this, son. I've already told you all I've learned.
Inspector, I believe I can aid your investigation. I know who the dead man is and what really happened here.
You do? Well, good for you. But I'm afraid I'm not the one you need to share your findings with. Speak to Mr. Harlow here. He's the one responsible for settling things in the camp.
You don't even care to listen?
Oh, I do care. Maybe even more than I need to. But I'm only here today to lock the place up, question witnesses, and file the facts. It's sad, but coming up with conclusions is not among my tasks here. You fellows at City Hall do that. Anyway, speak to the supervisor. I'll just stand by and listen to what you have to say.
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a few more.
Oh, well, that's a great start.
The man came to the camp intending to kidnap one of your refugees, a woman. What he didn't expect was that the refugees would stand up to protect the woman. A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and fell on his own blade.
How do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood at the scene, the intruder managed to raise himself but was unable to walk very far. He ultimately fell into the canal.
But how did he sneak into the camp? Why didn't the police see him?
And this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
You think
Nice.
one small clock can make any difference in this place?
Who knows, John?
Well, now we have done that. Now we need to maybe do this.
Just one ill-fitting cog could make the whole machine crumble.
Do I need to change clothes?
Help me, please.
They often take us from the camps to work. Most don't mind, though. It's the only way we get a glimpse of freedom.
According to the refugees, some shady people regularly visit the camp and take refugees away with them to perform various work. Their work is usually hard, but the refugees receive money and food. The girl was abused after she was supposedly taken to such a work. Since then, the refugees decided not to allow their women to be taken.
So there's a smuggling ring in the camp. This wasn't the first time that someone freely entered the camp to take a refugee out.
At least it was certainly his last time. My gut tells me that we'll learn more about this ring when we find out where the thug came from.
Well, that's quite a deduction you have. Mind Palace. The thug didn't hurt the girl? The thug came to the camp intending to kidnap a woman. He had the opportunity to kill her, but that wasn't his goal. No, it wasn't. A henchman, not merely a thief. He is not merely a thief, but also a kidnapper, a henchman who takes on various roles. I don't know.
May I ask for your assistance?
Sorry. We don't see much here.
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly. The police didn't allow us to help him.
The police will leave you alone now. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here because you want something.
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away, but we won't allow her to be hurt again. What do you want from Nayla?
Nayla. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Nayla's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land.